After being in a coma for 9 days, the parents of a Cosham man were preparing to pull the plug on his life support when he suddenly woke up. It's a dramatic story, and joining us now in the studio to tell us more is Mike McCall and Deborah Robinson from the charity Headway, who supported Mike in his recovery. Welcome to you both. Thank you both very much for coming in. So Mike, if I start with you, just tell me what happened.
Well, I was in America and I started to become ill, so I came home to England because the healthcare over in America cost too much. So I came home, went into hospital, was in there for 2 weeks, and then came out of hospital. I was fine, and then 2 weeks later on a doctor's visit, she said, you better get into hospital quickly. So I was rushed into hospital and they told me I had septicemia, and I went into a coma in hospital. I was in there for 9 days, and the day that they were going to pull the plug, I woke up.
That's an amazing story. You must feel incredibly lucky that you just, it happened like that. I mean, you literally did kind of escape death. How does that make you feel?
Very, very lucky indeed, very lucky. It was, well, once they told me all the different things I had wrong with me, that I couldn't believe that anybody could survive it.
And you think that part of why you got septicemia, didn't you? And you think that part of that is because you had an abscess in your tooth, and that might be how you...
I kept popping it, not dealing with it properly. And that was the way the poison must have got into my bloodstream, because I didn't have any guts or anything else.
And I mean, first of all, what would you say to someone if they had something wrong with them? Because I know that lots of people don't like getting things. They don't like going to the dentist. They don't like stuff like that. What would you say to someone if?
Go, just go to all your appointments. Don't miss them. Don't bottle out. Go.
And the reason that you feel so strongly that is because, of course, when you woke up from the coma, you kind of weren't able. You'd been coaching football in America, leading quite an intense lifestyle, I imagine. But when you kind of woke up, things weren't exactly the same. Is that right?
Yeah, that's absolutely true. I became agoraphobic, and I had a deep depression. I was paranoid about everything. Wanted to end my life, because I thought there was something, I was alien to people then, because I had a head injury, I had a tracheoscopy, I'd become a diabetic. I take beta blockers for a heart condition. So...
In a way, you kind of miraculously woke up from this coma, and then when you woke up, what it sounds like is, you kind of then spiraled into a kind of mental illness as well. That's almost, you kind of didn't want to be awake either.
No, I didn't at all.
But that's where your organisation Headway come in. So talk to me a little bit about Headway.
Well, Headway works with brain injury survivors and their families in Portsmouth and South East Hants. And we've been working, it's our 30th birthday, so very special this year, and we've been having lots of celebrations. But we come alongside people when they've had a brain injury. We explain to them what's happened to them, and also give them some of the pointers that will bring them back some of the abilities that they had before. And people like Mike work very hard to come alongside people and share their journeys, to give people hope, to be honest, because, if you're told you'll never walk, you'll never talk, you'll never, do anything that you've done before, that's a very bleak future. And we need to bring back hope for people and work with them to restore some of the skills that they had before their injury. And people like Mike can encourage people to just take that step. And he works as a mentor with us now, and he's very valuable. I don't know what we'd do without him, certainly.
So what kind of specific things happen at Headway that enables this recovery?
We do things that are courses. So Mike came on a course which was confidence building, because after a brain injury, you are terrified that it might happen again. Suddenly, in the middle of your life, you've been going on this way, and suddenly you've been picked up and you're pointing the other way, and you know it could happen again, and you're scared of that. And so we build people's confidence up, and we teach them to deal with stress, because stress can be a big difficulty, can't it?
Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
how you cope with stress. And so we even made you drink herbal tea, didn't we?
Yeah.
That wasn't very popular.
I noticed you were having a normal tea. And so what kind of frame of mind were you in when you first approached Headway, when you first got involved, and how would you say that's changed now?
Oh, it's changed hundredfold. Basically, I've got the confidence to talk to people. I've made friends in Headway. There's been people who have been so inspirational. For example, one lady from Gospel, whose name's Janice, she abseiled down the Spinnaker Tower, and she's only got the use of half her body because she had a bleed on the brain.
Oh my goodness.
So my head injury is different to other people's, and by being around all these people, it makes you realise, well, you can do something, you can get on with your life.
And I think what the most remarkable thing about this story is that now you're going to be involved once again in football, which is clearly something that you feel passionately about.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel great. It's with Pompey in the community. So, it's a volunteer thing, because I'm not ready to go back to work or anything like that yet. But it's getting me back on my own 2 feet again.
Mike, it's an inspirational story. Thank you very much for sharing it with us. And Deborah, thank you for telling us about Headway, of course.